The sun beat down on the valley of Elah. Two armies faced each other. On one side were the Israelites, brave but outnumbered. On the other side stood the Philistines, taller, stronger, and better armed. The Philistines were confident, taunting the Israelites. The Philistine army had come to take over the land of Israel. They were a cruel and ruthless enemy. The Israelites were determined to defend their homes and families. But the Philistines were a powerful foe. The tension was palpable. The air was thick with tension. The two armies had been facing each other for days. Every day the Philistines would march out and mock the Israelites.
The Israelites were afraid. They tried to be brave, but the Philistines were too strong. No one dared to face them in battle. The Israelite army was filled with fear. The Israelites prayed to God for help. Where was their God now? The weight was agonizing. They felt alone and afraid.
One day, a giant emerged from the Philistine ranks. His name was Goliath, a massive man over 9 feet tall. He wore thick armor and carried a huge spear and sword.
Send me out a man and let us fight each other. If he is able to fight and kill me, we will become your subjects. But if I overcome and kill him, you shall be our subjects and serve us.
Goliath's challenge echoed through the valley, striking fear into the hearts of the Israelites. He was a terrifying sight. Who could possibly defeat such a giant? Goliath was truly a giant among men. His height was almost unbelievable. His arms were thicker than tree trunks, his legs like pillars of stone. His armor gleamed in the sunlight, weighing more than most men could lift. Every inch of him spoke of strength and brutality. He looked down upon the Israelite army with disdain. The Israelites trembled at the sight of Goliath. He was like a force of nature, an earthquake given flesh. The ground seemed to shake with each step he took. His very presence was suffocating. A wave of fear washed over the Israelite army. The soldiers looked at each other in terror. They had never seen anything like Goliath. Even the bravest among them felt a chill run down their spines.
Look at him. How can we possibly defeat such a giant?
Even King Saul, the tallest man in Israel, seemed small compared to Goliath. He stood in his tent, peering out at the giant, his heart pounding in his chest. Our king? He looks just as frightened as we are. Whispers of fear spread through the ranks. The men began to doubt their ability to win. Some even spoke of surrender. The morale of the Israelite army was crumbling. Every morning, Goliath would stride out into the valley. He would repeat his challenge and mock the Israelites.
Come on, you cowards. Are you warriors or just women and children?
Every day, the Israelites would cower in fear. No one dared to answer Goliath's challenge. They knew that to face him was certain death. Their hearts were filled with dread. For 40 long days and nights, the terror continued.
Look at them, trembling like leaves. They're not fit to be called warriors.
The valley was shrouded in fear. The Israelites felt abandoned. They had lost all hope of victory. They were a defeated army before the battle had even begun. Far from the battlefield in the rolling hills of Bethlehem, a young shepherd named David tended his father's sheep. The serene landscape was his playground, and the sheep were his constant companions. David was a handsome boy, with ruddy cheeks and bright, intelligent eyes that sparkled with curiosity and wisdom beyond his years. He was small in stature but strong and agile from years of chasing after wayward lambs and protecting his flock from wild animals. His bravery and quick reflexes were well known among the other shepherds.
Come here, little one. You're safe now. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it.
David was known for his musical talents, a gift that brought joy to many. He would often compose songs while watching over his sheep, his fingers dancing across the strings of his harp. The melodies he created were as beautiful as the landscape around him. The sheep seemed to find comfort in his music, gathering around him as if they understood the soothing power of his tunes. The hills echoed with his music, a testament to his peaceful spirit and the harmony he brought to his surroundings. Unbeknownst to David, a shadow loomed over his peaceful world, threatening to disrupt the tranquility he cherished. His 3 eldest brothers were away, fighting in King Saul's army against the Philistines, a formidable enemy. David's father, Jesse, worried for his sons, constantly looking out into the distance, hoping for their safe return. One day, Jesse called David to him, his voice filled with both concern and hope.
Father, you called for me. What do you need?
"My son, take this food to your brothers in the camp and see how they are doing. Bring back news of their well-being, for my heart is heavy with worry." David arrived at the Israelite camp. He was shocked by what he saw. The once proud army seemed to be cowering in fear. He found his brothers among the soldiers, their faces etched with worry.
"I have come to bring you food, brother, and to see how you fare. But tell me, why does the army tremble so? Who is this Philistine giant to defy the armies of the living God?"
David's words were like a stone thrown into a still pond. They rippled through the ranks, stirring the soldiers from their fear-induced stupor. David's words reached the ears of the other soldiers. They gathered around him, eager to hear more from this brave young shepherd. David spoke of his faith in God, recalling how he had protected his sheep from lions and bears.
"The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and from the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine."
His words, spoken with such conviction, resonated with some of the soldiers. Could this young shepherd be their savior? Word of David's bravery reached King Saul, who summoned the young shepherd to his tent. Saul looked at David skeptically. "You are just a boy, and this man has been a warrior from his youth."
"Your Majesty, I have killed both lions and bears while protecting my father's sheep. This Philistine giant will be no different."
King Saul, impressed by David's unwavering faith, decided to offer the young shepherd a chance to prove himself. "Go then, and may the Lord be with you." He then offered David his own armor, a bronze helmet, a heavy coat of mail, and a sword. David, eager to face Goliath, tried to put on the king's armor. He struggled to lift the heavy breastplate. The helmet, too big for his head, slipped down over his eyes. The weight of the armor, meant for a seasoned warrior, pinned David down. David, realizing that the king's armor would hinder more than help, politely refused the king's offer.
"I cannot go in these, for I am not used to them."
David was a shepherd, accustomed to moving freely across the hills. Section 25, Smooth Stones.
After removing the king's armor, I went to a nearby stream. I carefully chose 5 smooth stones. They were the right size and weight for my sling.
These stones, David thought, would be his instruments of God's will. He placed them in his shepherd's bag. His sling was made of leather, a simple weapon, but David had used it since he was a boy. With the 5 stones nestled securely in his bag, David headed towards the battlefield. He felt a calmness descend upon him, a confidence that surpassed the bravado of seasoned soldiers. Section 3, The Giant Awaits.
Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?
Goliath, towering over his Philistine comrades, roared with laughter when he saw David approaching. This shepherd boy, armed with only a stick and a few stones, dared to challenge him. It was almost too ridiculous to believe.
Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?
The Philistine army behind him erupted in laughter. Goliath, used to the fear he instilled in his enemies, expected David to cower or flee. Section 4, The Shepherd's Weapon. David, unfazed by Goliath's taunts, stood firm. He knew that his strength came not from the size of his weapon, but from the power of his God.
"You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied."
David reached into his bag, his fingers closing around one of the smooth stones. He carefully placed the stone in his sling, feeling the familiar weight settle in the leather pouch. Years of practice, of protecting his flock, had led him to this moment. He was ready. The stone nestled in the leather pouch, a silent promise of destruction. He could feel the wind whipping around him, the breath of God urging him forward. His heart pounded with a rhythm that echoed the beating of a war drum. Goliath, watching this unexpected display of confidence, stopped laughing. He lowered his spear slightly, a flicker of doubt crossing his brow. With a final, powerful swing, David released the stone. It shot through the air, a small brown blur against the vast blue sky. The stone, guided by an unseen hand, found its mark. It struck Goliath squarely in the forehead. A dull thud echoed across the valley. The giant, caught off guard, staggered backward, his eyes wide with surprise. A collective gasp arose from the Israelite army. They had witnessed countless battles, seen men fall to swords and spears, but there was something different about this moment. The silence that descended upon the battlefield was heavy with anticipation. Goliath, his legs no longer able to support his massive frame, crashed to the ground. The earth trembled as if shaken by an earthquake. Dust billowed around the fallen giant, obscuring him from view for a moment. The dust settled, revealing Goliath's prone form. He lay still, his massive chest no longer heaving with the effort of breathing. The giant, who had terrorized the Israelites for 40 days and nights, was dead.
David, his heart pounding with adrenaline and gratitude, approached the fallen giant cautiously. He had faced death before, in the form of lions and bears threatening his flock, but this was different. This was a victory not just for David, but for the entire nation of Israel.
With a swift movement, David drew Goliath's own sword from its scabbard. The blade, heavy and gleaming in the sunlight, felt strangely light in David's hand. David raised the sword high above his head, a triumphant shout escaping his lips.
The Israelites, their fear replaced with jubilation, erupted in cheers, their voices rising in a crescendo of victory.
The Philistines, their ranks thrown into disarray by the death of their champion, panicked. Their once formidable formation crumbled as confusion spread like wildfire. Fear, like a contagion, spread through their ranks. The soldiers, who once stood tall and proud, now found themselves gripped by terror. They turned and fled, their former arrogance replaced by a desperate need to escape the wrath of the God who had empowered the shepherd boy. The battlefield, once a place of their confidence, became a scene of their disgrace.
The Israelites, emboldened by David's victory, surged forward, their hearts filled with newfound courage and determination. They chased after the fleeing Philistines, their shouts of triumph mingling with the Philistines' cries of fear. The air was thick with the sounds of pursuit and retreat. The valley, so recently shrouded in fear, now echoed with the sounds of victory. The cries of the defeated were drowned out by the jubilant roars of the victors.
David, standing amidst the chaos of the rout, lowered the sword. His heart was still racing, but a sense of calm began to wash over him. He watched as the Philistines fled, a sense of peace settling over him. The sight of their retreat was a testament to the power of faith and courage. He had done what God had called him to do. The weight of his responsibility lifted, replaced by a profound sense of fulfillment. He had faced his fear, trusted in God, and emerged victorious. His journey from shepherd to warrior was now complete. As the sounds of battle faded in the distance, David knelt on the ground. His heart overflowed with gratitude. He offered a prayer of thanksgiving to the God who had given him the strength and courage to face Goliath. His faith had been his shield and his sword. He was just a shepherd boy, but he had changed the course of history. His story would be told for generations to come. He had shown that even the smallest among us can achieve great things when we place our trust in God. His victory was a beacon of hope and a testament to the power of faith. The story of David and Goliath has echoed through centuries, a testament to the power of courage and faith. This ancient narrative has been told and retold, each time reinforcing the timeless message of hope and resilience. It's a story that transcends time and culture, reminding us that true strength lies not in physical might, but in the unwavering belief in something greater than ourselves. Across different lands and eras, this tale has found a place in the hearts of many, symbolizing the triumph of the underdog. David, a young shepherd armed with only a sling and 5 stones, stared into the face of fear and refused to back down. His courage was not born out of arrogance, but from a deep-seated faith that he was not alone in his battle. He didn't rely on his own limited strength, but placed his trust in God, proving that even the seemingly insignificant can rise to conquer insurmountable odds. David's victory was not just a physical one, but a spiritual triumph that resonated through the ages. This tale, passed down through generations, serves as a beacon of hope for anyone facing their own giants. It has been a source of inspiration for countless individuals, encouraging them to face their fears with bravery and conviction. Whether it's a personal struggle, a professional obstacle, or a societal ill, the story of David reminds us that we too can overcome challenges that seem designed to defeat us. It teaches us that no matter how daunting the challenge, with faith and determination, victory is within reach. The next time you feel overwhelmed, remember David, the shepherd boy who dared to confront a giant. His story is a powerful reminder that even in our darkest moments we have the strength to rise above. Let his courage inspire you, his faith empower you, and his victory remind you that with God, all things are possible. Embrace the spirit of David and let it guide you through your own battles, big or small. The beauty of the David and Goliath story lies in its universal appeal. We all have our own Goliaths, those challenges that loom large, threatening to overwhelm us with their sheer size and complexity. Your Goliath might be a personal struggle, a fear you need to conquer, a bad habit you need to break, or a dream you're too afraid to chase. It might be a professional hurdle, a demanding project, a difficult boss, or a career change that feels overwhelming. It could also be a societal Goliath, a fight for justice, a stand against inequality, or a movement to create positive change in the world. Whatever form your Goliath takes, the message remains the same. Don't let fear paralyze you. Embrace your inner David. Find the courage to face your giants head-on, armed with your own unique set of stones, your talents, your skills, your determination, and your unwavering belief in yourself and the power of good.